In a previous video, we created this Microsoft Excel pivot table. Let's assume this pivot table is part of a monthly report, and we need to copy this pivot table into a Word document for our bosses. We could just simply go and copy and paste it, but that would mean every month when the figures change, we'd have to repeat the process. Let me show you a quick way around that. I'm still going to copy it as normal, so I'm going to highlight my pivot table. I'm going to click on the copy button. But when I go to Word, instead of clicking on the paste button, I'm going to click on the drop down list beneath the paste button, and I'm going to click on paste special. I'm then going to select Microsoft Excel worksheet object, and I'm going to click on the paste link button, and I'm going to click on OK. And there is my pivot table. However, now if I make a change in Excel, let's say that I go to Excel and I choose to remove my cost of sales, and I click on OK, you can see the pivot table changes in Excel, and if I go back to Word, it's changed in Word as well. This is called a paste link. One thing you should be aware of, however, is if I make a change to my data. At the moment, my parking expenses are about 400 Rand. Let's go to my expenses here, and let's change my parking expenses. Let's make this 4,000 Rand. Obviously now, if I go back to my pivot table, you can see the figure hasn't changed. The reason for this is that the pivot table must be refreshed. If I right click on the pivot table, anywhere on the pivot table, click on refresh, you can see it automatically updates my parking expenses, and if I go back to Word, you can see my parking expenses have indeed been changed there as well. One key thing to do as well is if you right click on the pivot table and you go down to pivot table options, you go to data, you can click this refresh data when opening the file. That just makes sure that whenever you open the file, the pivot table is refreshed automatically. And just to be aware that you can also do that in a PowerPoint presentation. Right, let's just add our cost of sales back again. I'm going to copy my pivot table a second time. I'm going to go to PowerPoint. I'm going to paste special, Microsoft Excel worksheet object, and paste link. And there you can see my pivot table again. You'll notice that if I change it, let's say we decide to just display the last month of September, you can see my values change in my pivot table. They change in Word as well as PowerPoint. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.